Hi, in this video we're going to be talking about 4 different habits that you should stay away from if you'd like to have better speaking skills. These habits are holding you back though you do not realize them doing so. And also I'll be talking about what you should do instead to get an amazing level of self-confidence, which in return will help you develop your speaking skills in due time. So without further ado, let's dig in. First, do not read. Yes, reading is immensely helpful for the language acquisition, but reading is a passive skill, which means while you're reading, you're not producing the language per se. In speaking, however, we are producing the language. I always find my students who'd like to get better speaking skills doing some reading practices. Why? Because this is easier. In reading practice or while reading, we are not active. We have written language and we see it and we try to decipher the message given to us. But in speaking, we are coding the message to get our ideas across. So there is a huge difference. So why do people get into reading instead of speaking their target language? Because it's much easier, as I said before. But easiness doesn't get us to the point where we want to get. I always tell my students, if you learn to ride a bike, then ride a bike. Do not jump around or stretch your legs or whatsoever. Just like this, if you want to speak better, then speak. How can you do that? Just be on your own, concentrate for 10 to 15 minutes and try to record your voice, because recording is going to show you your mistakes. And when you see your mistakes, yes, at first you're going to hate yourself, but in due time you will learn from them. Second, do not do listening practice. Yes, listening is good for your pronunciation, especially when you mimic the person that you're listening to, you will get better pronunciation skills. However, listening is a passive skill just like reading. This means that you're not producing the language again. You have a message that you need to get, and all you need to do is to decode the message in your brain. However, as I told you before, speaking is not about decoding the message. Speaking is about coding the message. You need to produce the language per se. You need to use your grammar resource and lexical resource, which is the amount of vocabulary that you have in your mind. And by using them, you need to be able to code the message to get your point across. So there's a huge difference between listening, reading, and speaking. So if you want to speak better, as I told you before, speak. Nevertheless, I hear you saying, so who am I supposed to talk to? You don't need anyone to talk to. As I said before, all you need is an empty room where you can get alone and concentrate for about 10 to 15 minutes and speak up. Do not try to speak in your mind. Say the words aloud. Why? Because you're gonna hear your own voice. When you do not like your pronunciation, your mood is gonna get affected by this. So you need to get used to this and record your voice. You need to get used to your own voice. Many of us say we don't like our voices. So at the beginning, I was like this. I didn't like my voice at all. But in time, you get used to it. And let me tell you a secret. If you don't like yourself, no one is gonna like you. When we record our voices, our mistakes are shown to us by that voice record. As a human being, we tend to hide our mistakes. However, in real life, we learn from our mistakes. So you shouldn't try to hide your mistakes or stay away from your mistakes. You need to face them so that you can learn. And as you conquer your mistakes In due time, you will conquer your fear of speaking. And in time, you will start to like yourself and your voice. Making a mistake is not gonna hurt you that much in the long run. You'll be able to talk with the native that you see in the middle of the street. And the third habit, do not study grammar and do not try to memorize vocabulary. Yes, I know, since you started studying the target language, which is English in our case, you've been studying grammar and memorizing vocabulary. Memorizing the vocabulary, this is just trying to learn it by heart, especially the definitions, Turkish definitions of the words in the target language. But so far, you've seen that this doesn't help. Why? You're getting the passive knowledge, grammar knowledge, vocabulary knowledge, but when it comes to using them, no, because you don't know how to use them. Why? Because you haven't practiced how to use them. And I'd like to say, studying grammar and trying to memorize vocabulary is your, again, comfort zone. You've done so for maybe 20 years. For the education life, you've done so. You've been trying to memorize those words. You've been trying to learn those very complex grammatical knowledge. But please, try to step out of your comfort zone and get into your fear zone. Your fear zone is speaking the target language. Speak to yourself. Venture into the jungles of fear and face your fears. And I know you're gonna ask the question, what am I supposed to talk about with myself? That could be anything. The last news article that you read in the morning, or the last film you watched at the cinema. Or if you like reading or listening again, you can just talk about the reading passage that you've just read or listening part you just listened to. If you do this staying alone for 10 to 15 minutes and concentrating on your speaking and recording your own voice and listening to yourself, you will see amazing changes, especially in your self-confidence in just 1 week. And believe me, friends, self-confidence is nearly everything. I can say 70 to 80% of the whole thing about speaking the target language. And the last one, do not wait. Do not wait for a miracle. Our brains don't want us to take the course of the action because for millions of years they have learned that they should keep the calories in our bodies so that we may survive the next day. That's why we tend to be lazy. So the next time when you see yourself being lazy, just push yourself, get to a place where you can be alone and concentrate for 10 to 15 minutes so that you can reach amazing levels of speaking English. Alright, I just tried to show you that by just doing reading practices, listening practices, studying grammar, trying to memorize vocabulary, and waiting for a miracle, you're at the wrong end of the stick. Do not be passive, be active. And for God's sake, please teach yourself how to conquer your fear of speaking. Dear friends, if you have any questions or any comments, please leave them below. And if you like this video, please press the like button and share it with your friends. Till next time.